the system of the week is employee onboarding. So onboarding is the simple act of, once you've hired an employee, how do you introduce them to your company and start their training? So this is a new process in the library. This process has got different examples, different ideas. It's got a lot in it on how to do effective employee onboarding. If you look at this and you're like, God, how do I use this? It seems overwhelming. Give us a call, because we can sit with you, in about probably less than a half an hour and kind of customize it for you and show you how to use it. But these library processes sometimes have like different examples and different ways of doing it, so you can kind of pick and choose and customize it and make it your own. Onboarding employees well is just an essential efficiency for your business. These are just a few statistics, but there are a lot of statistics on the internet about and studies, educational studies on businesses around what it costs to hire an employee and then have them quit. So these are just some statistics on why they leave and when they leave on average. But down here at the bottom is the best one. The cost of losing an employee in the first year is 1.5 to 3 times their annual salary. It's enormous, right? That's huge. It's huge. And it's this hidden expense that we don't see. It kind of just flows out of the bucket, and you don't see it. So having an effective recruiting and hiring process where you know you're getting the right people on your bus, and then bringing them into the company in an effective way, where they feel socialized, where everything's set and ready to go. Like you're putting your best foot forward and saying, my company is organized. This is how we bring you on into your position. So here there's a work plan for preparing for the new employee to come. So basic things like, call them and confirm their time, make sure that you have all their paperwork, send an email out to other people in the office that this new employee is coming, make sure they get on the calendar for your regular meetings if they exist, do their HR training, their new employee training, and there's a process for this in the library as well. Arrange for them to have a phone, all of these things set up before they come so they kind of feel welcome. Here, we're ready for you. First day training, so make sure they have their new employee orientation and all of their human resource and paperwork has been set up and ready to go. Talk to them about their job description, show them TouchStone if you've got it that far along. Explain to them their duties, explain to them that you're going to be using the job description to train them and that each of the processes is the how-tos of that work. Explain to them how the company is organized, show them your organization chart, talk to them about your vision, introduce them to other employees, take them out to lunch that day. Basically get them going with their initial training, which this onboarding process kind of shows how to bring them onto the company, but then really the heart of it is the training of their processes on their job description. Then the first 30 days, so things that you want to accomplish in the first 30 days with them. Continue to have meetings with them, elicit feedback, answer questions they have, make specific time to do that, continue their job description training, introduce them to higher level people, make sure that they've had their human resource training, get feedback on how that went, take them out to lunch. 60 days. So some people like 60 days for this and some like 90 days, but this is like the end of the probationary period. So have a conversation about what their experience has been like to date, the good and the bad. Be open to hearing what it's been like. Be open to hearing what the training, the job description training has been like. Conduct a 30-day performance review. There's a process in TouchStone for this as well. Celebrate their accomplishments, review their goals, have their job description training be complete by then or ongoing, depending on the position. When I say the job description training, I mean, oh, this link's broken. I mean all of their processes on their job description. So here, you would go through and train them on one process tool at a time. Read it over with them. Have them read it back to you. Have them memorize and study it. Have them observe another person doing it. Give them a lecture on it. Test their understanding of the process. Ask them questions about it. Have them demonstrate their ability. So this is the training of their processes. So take a look at this onboarding process and see, how it might be useful for you. There's a whole another, there's checklists in here. So we just took the work plans and converted them to checklists, but this is a nice thing to do, especially if you have a manager doing this, and you as the owner or you as that person's manager want to make sure that the new employees have been trained. You go through and check off all these processes as they do them, save them as the employee's name. There's a little policy down here for this. I heard this super funny joke about training. So the CFO says to the CEO, "What happens when we spend all this time training employees and then they quit?" And the CEO says, "Yeah, but what if we don't and they stay?" I heard that a couple days ago. I was just cracking up because it's so true, isn't it? You dread kind of spending the money and time it takes to thoroughly train people because you don't want them to leave. But then if you don't train them, what is that costing you? So this simple onboarding process doesn't take a whole lot of time, but it really just helps kind of put your best foot forward for the employee. So just in the 2 minutes we have left, if you're using this in the control panel, or you can, if I go to my control panel, I can go to new employee onboarding right here. And now I'm seeing it in the control panel view. So I could go to this preparing for the new employee checklist, and I could save this as the person's name that I'm onboarding. I go in and check off these boxes, as I do it. I can put in notes here about things that happen, and then I save it. So it saves it back to TouchStone. So I can go and access it here in this completed folder anytime I want to, or I can go back and finish it if I haven't finished it yet. But more importantly, my manager, if they want to make sure that all the new employees have been onboarded correctly, they can go here and run a report and search for, they're looking for a particular employee, and hit Run Report, and then they can see a list. So here's his performance evaluation, here's his new onboarding, here's his salesperson training, here's the one-on-one meetings that have been happening. So this is nice for management purposes because I can see as the manager that all my stuff is here and that I've done everything I need to do with this employee. But it's also nice for, upper level positions as well to be able to verify. So if the president up here wants to know if everyone within this department has been onboarded correctly, they just run a report and they can see it. Or even if this person here wants to make sure that this person has done their onboarding of this person, then same idea. So next week we are going to continue our conversation on documenting a process. So we're going to finish up with scripts, upload files, forms, and all the rest, and then we'll go on from there. So thanks for coming, everybody. Bye-bye.